going on today, guys? It's your boy Subby back with another episode of Halfway There podcast. I'm joined today with someone that's special, low key, man. You know, he's doing his thing in the clothing industry. You know, he's been connecting with a lot of influential people. Shout out to my guy Yaph from Scumbags. What's going on, brother?
What up? How you doing, man?
I'm good. I had you on this podcast. I reached out to you because I found it cool that growing up, you don't see a lot of people representing people that kind of look like you.
Yeah.
You know, so, and like I said to you off camera a little bit earlier, seeing Habesha people doing a lot of cool things nowadays is extremely dope. Dope. So, even you starting up a brand called Scumbag, and doing your thing and reaching out to these influential people and pushing that brand. It's super cool, it's super dope. And essentially I want to get into the backstories of who you are and how you got to where you are right now, and some of the things that you plan on doing into the future, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I want to dive into who Yaph is.
Yeah.
And why you created some sick attire and how it's spreading and all that,
Yeah, I don't know. I appreciate
that. Who are you, bro? Like for the people that don't know, for the people that are gonna be seeing this for the first time, who are you?
Yeah, so as he said, I go by Yaph Marciano. I make music, I make clothes, pretty much an all-around type, you know what I mean? Yeah. But I started Scumbag in 2021. It was in the pandemic and shit. I was just bored. I was always into clothes and shit like that since I was a kid. I started in high school, making shit with my tie. Shout out to Ty Finesse Club. T-shirts and shit like that, but I didn't really do nothing with it. And then it was during the pandemic. I don't know what gave me the bug to just make my own shit. You know what I mean? So that's when I started looking at different different suppliers and different things. I started with hats. These were the first hats that I did, the trucker hat. And then I started just by passing it out to the homies, shit like that. And then, so I did that for a little bit, made some t-shirts, kept it just in circle type shit. And then eventually word started to grow a little bit. And then I think it was summer 2023 is when I actually launched the website officially. So we've officially been up and running for 2 years now. We just had a 2-year anniversary over at 13 Sons 2 weeks ago. That was fire. Shout out to Mez. And yeah, now we're just trying to keep the ball rolling. You know what I mean? Different products. Like you see, we got a couple different joints over there. We started with a bunch of different hats, just because I felt like it's easy to start with accessories. You know what I mean? So people can style them however they want. And then we started doing jerseys, t-shirts, hoodies, and hopefully we're gonna try and expand into more different shit, different types of pants, different types of tops and stuff like that. But yeah, that's Scumbag in a nutshell.
So growing up, what were some of your influences on clothing? Did you wear stuff like Fubu, Fat Farm, these the Echo, all these streetwear stuff?
Yeah.
Were you into those?
Yeah. Obviously when I was young, you just wearing whatever your parents is getting you shit, you know what I mean? But once I got to 5th grade, 6th grade is when I started paying attention, you know what I mean? You start, picking out the Sean John and the different shit, whatever. And then by 7th grade is when I was really into whatever, 7th grade, I'm about to age myself, but I was 08? I was wearing a lot of 10 deep. Crooks and Castles was big back then too, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, different shit, whatever I would get my hands on, you know what I'm saying? But influences back then, it was whatever I would see, you know what I mean? I'm a real hip hop, you know what I'm saying? Especially back in the blog era, I used to be on the blogs all day.
Yeah, what were the popular blogs back then?
Back then, I used to go on All Hip Hop, Ill Roots, Nah Right, obviously World Star before it went OD and shit. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was tough back
then. Yeah, Kanye to the there was a bunch of big shit. So Kanye was big back then. Kanye, I know Kanye's wilding now, but back then Kanye and Pharrell was probably my two biggest.
You know, because they have like a kind of like the creator type of vibe to them, where they're kind of awkward, but they're so dope. Like they put on, in my opinion, they kind of put on Bape.
You think so?
Yeah, like
oh, but yeah, Pharrell for sure
yeah,
played a
like,
part. Yeah.
was a huge part of Bape.
Yeah.
So, like, just even their styles and like how they even like approached it, they influenced a huge generation of people. You know.
It's like that. What they get like the backpack swag. You know what I'm saying? Like, because they wasn't trying to dress like street. You know what I mean?
Because like whatever you're putting out there is like what comes back to you, right? It's like however you carry yourself and your energy. Like if you dress grungy and you move a certain, that's the energy that you're putting forth. So like that's the energy that you're gonna receive back. You know what I mean? Like if you're putting on like so if you just put it on every day, you know what I mean? Yeah. People are gonna look at you like you're the fashion guy. You're the
that's what. Yeah, just the fly shit. Yeah, that's what I was into.
But back in the day, man, like. Growing up in Toronto, what were some of the challenges with like or not even challenges, some of like the trials and tribulations of being like a first generation Canadian in Toronto, or are you a first generation Canadian?
Yeah.
You are, right?
Yeah.
So what were some of like the trials and tribulations, like, you know, because obviously we have like a certain way that our parents want us to be, like, you know, to move, to style, like, oh, you're gonna wear that, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that, you know?
Yeah.
There's a lot of that with our parents, right? Obviously, we want to have our own identity and move the way that we want to move, right? So, what was that thing that was like, all right, you know, I'm gonna do me, and like, you know, whatever comes to it, comes to it. Like how did that come?
My mom was with shit, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you, none of that shit. Like, be wearing like colors and shit like that, like, especially when you start wearing like skinny jeans and shit like that. She was not rocking with it, like. Because all like my older cousins and shit was like still doing the old shit, you know what I mean? Like the baggy pants, shit like that. Because that was like normal to them, you know what I mean? So me was wearing like skinny jeans and like black and like lime high dunks. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, she was not fucking with it at all, bro. Like she used to throw my shit out sometimes. I'm not gonna lie to you.
And like, would it get to a point where she like, back in the day it was CDs, right?
Yeah.
For the iPods and everything was CDs. Like, were you like listening to your CDs, or she like sometimes like tape them and just like toss them? Because I don't know, for me that's how it kind of was when I was a youth.
They wasn't throwing shit out. No. Not the CDs. She would throw some of my clothes out, but not my CDs. You know, it hurt more back. Like, obviously I'm grown now, so it doesn't happen now. But like back then, like niggas don't have that many like pieces and stuff. So like, I remember one time I bought like this purple hoodie. I had seen Pharrell wearing like this like a solid purple hoodie, and then where'd I go? I think I went to H&M. And I seen one similar, and I copped it. Oh, bro, that shit lasted maybe like 2 days. She took that shit right back, bro. Yeah, I was hurt. Best smile. Like, she's like, yo, like, what are people gonna think? Like, I was like, even at that time, I wasn't even that pressed about what people was about to think. Cause like, to me, I'm like, yo, this is fly. Like,
this is my life too. Like, at the end of the day, like, I gotta live my life. They gotta live their life. Why does their opinions even matter?
Yeah.
You know, like, why does it matter?
Like I wasn't even concerned about that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. When you were younger, did you play any sports?
Yeah, I used to hoop.
Were you nice?
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty decent.
You were pretty decent. So, I have a theory, right? So a lot of people, when they say they were dirty,
they weren't that good. Yeah, it's not just it. Yeah.
I was alright, whatever. Those are the people that were actually nice.
Yeah, I was pretty decent. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna sit there and say like I was dumb nice. I could hoop. Huh? Yeah.
You feel like having that type of like structure in your life, like being, were you a competitive hooper? Or,
yeah.
So you play like a rep and you played
a little bit. Yeah.
So he was pretty good. Don't let him like undersell like his skills, because like he's like, I was pretty good. You know, like
I wasn't too.
One too, you know, but it takes a lot of discipline to even have that type of structure in life, you know. Cause people don't even understand. People just think like, oh, I go in, I run, I do suicides.
Yeah.
It's a lot more to hooping to do.
For sure.
You know, the structure. If you're not on point, brother, you're not gonna make the team. You're not gonna be good enough to even, you know. In order to be like consistently good at something, same way when it comes to business, clothing, or anything in life, consistency, discipline, you need it.
Yeah, for sure.
100%, you know. So do you feel like those things that you got into a little bit early in life were, I guess, the prerequisite for you to have the skills to, like, you know, have your own business, you know, being able to have like good team skills? Because at the end of the day, if you have your own business, you have to have skills, right?
For sure.
You know, if you have your own business, you have to have discipline and all those different things. How do you feel like those different things like came and like helped you in, you you know, creating your brand?
Moving forward, yeah, it was definitely beneficial from back because like even when I was a kid, like all I used to do was hoop and like be on the computer and shit, you know what I mean? Like I mean it's kind of sad to say, like you know, kids stay in school, but like I hated school growing up. Like even as a kid, I did not like school. Like just the fact of getting up, going over there, staying there all day, you know what I mean? Like I just wanted to be outside. And once I'm done hooping, you go inside, watch my little 106 in Parks, my little BET Now, go on my computer for a little bit, you know what I'm saying? So this is what I was doing from back then. So that helped me like build the foundation, not only of like my personality, but like identifying what I liked and didn't like from an early age. And like even when it comes to hoops, like how to deal with different people. Cause like I'm a pretty like easygoing person, you know what I mean? So like I learned, like I became that by learning how to deal with different people. So it's like, I might not necessarily like want to change, like for example, if you're on, there's like 5 on a court, right? You know one personality, you know another personality. It's like, once you're able to manage all of them at the same time, I think everything flows a lot better. And I think like translating that to like even just dealing with people on a daily, it's like, a lot of the times, like now that I'm older, I might not even care to change somebody's personality. It's like, but once I know how to deal with you, it's like I know how to like maneuver. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, it's basically just learning how to deal with people and shit like that.
How has it been like dealing with, you know, like social media and like the people that you know that you interact with, or even the influencers that you do like come in contact with, right? Because you know on the Scumbag page, you know you have some big people on the page, you know,
Yeah.
and stuff, you know. So even like dealing with like those large creators, like you know passing that H and all these people, right? How is it like, you know, like dealing with them, dealing with the team, dealing with the people that are, you know, that come with it after the fact, like, oh shit, I seen that stuff, you know, let me cop a little bit, you know, like is Scumbag more so for like, are you trying to like have the audience like put it on, or are you trying to make it more like extremely big time luxury brand, like you know what I mean? Or
like eventually, like I want it to grow into like more luxury products like as time goes on. But like the way I classify it right now is like high level streetwear. You know what I mean? So like the quality is blessed, but it's like I don't want to charge like 200 for a t-shirt, you know what I mean? Even if the quality is of a $200 t-shirt, because it's like I know where I'm at and I know like where my foundation is and like the people who would be buying it. So it's like I know if I price my shit like ridiculously high at this point, like people not gonna buy it just because it's not affordable, you know what I mean? But the goal is eventually, like once I start dibbling and dabbling in different products, different fabrics, different materials, eventually to have like a different scale. You know what I mean? Have some shit like the t-shirts is like $70, but like eventually we might have a $200 t-shirt. We might have like a sweater that might be $300-400, you know what I mean? Just because that's the work that was put into it, you know what I mean? With the materials, shit like that. But going back to your earlier point, when you say what did I learn about like dealing with all these different people, it's like the main thing I learned is you can never take nothing personal. You know what I'm saying? Because like everybody's on their own timing, like everybody has their own schedules, like people might not see your message, people might be out of town, like whatever the case may be, like I don't take nothing personal. I used to be different though, like
like trying to like work on social media and like work with people, sometimes it does get frustrating.
It's OD, yeah, no, trust me.
When you're trying to do something like, and you know you have like a set time.
Yeah.
Follow everything, and then like that one little block and like your plan is just not going to play. Sometimes you get frustrated.
For sure.
But how are you able to like overcome that and like, you know, just like reevaluate and just keep moving forward, you know?
Honestly, like I have to sit there and tell myself that like this might be cliche, but like even like to be in this position like is a blessing. So it's like if it doesn't happen now, like maybe it'll happen later, you know what I mean? But like the ship has to sail regardless, you know what I mean? That's one thing I learned too. Like when you try to wait on certain things, it'll like derail the entire process. So like if, for example, if I'm having an event and like somebody's supposed to pull up, and or if I'm this happened before, like if I'm having a photo shoot and like somebody says, yo, they're down, but like eventually as you get closer to the date, like either they're not answering or whatever the case may be, it's like you know, like, it's calm, you know what I mean? Like, I don't take it, because you didn't have to do it to begin with, you know what I mean? So I appreciate you even considering it, but like, I'm just gonna have to get somebody else to do it, you know what I mean? So that puts the pressure on you to go find somebody else and stuff like that, but like.
The one thing I want to add to that is, in life, all you have to do is just communicate. Because like, if you say you're gonna do something, and this is the one thing that gets me frustrated.
Yeah.
If you say you're gonna do something and you can't do it,
just tell me that. Yeah. I feel it.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not, like, obviously I know that we're grown, and you know we don't catch feelings, and I don't catch feelings. But if you commit to something, and as time goes on, like you're moving ghost and you're moving a little weird, that just shows like what kind of character you have.
Yeah.
You think that your time and you think that your shit's more important. You know, you could just literally communicate with them.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like you know when we're messaging back and forth. You let me know that you had stuff going on. That shit made me so. I was like, bro, most people just like leave me on ghost.
Yeah.
I'm just like, bro. I'm like, yo, with that. That's cool. You know, it's calm. You know, so learn how to communicate. Like you said, like learn personable skills, bro. You know, like. But yeah, you know, that just for the people that are gonna be watching.
Just gotta have to vent a little bit. Yeah.
Nah, bro, I could.
I feel you.
Crazy, bro. Like, there's people that reach out. It's like, yo, me hop on the podcast. I see you do this with this right.
Yeah.
You know, that's so forth. And then like when it comes like damn near close to like doing a podcast or whatever, even just me doing a video shoot with them, they're just like, yeah, you know, like no response. Just no response. You're the one that reached out to me. Like, it'd be different. I reached out to you. You know, that'd be cool. But it's life is business. You don't take it personal. It is what it is. But it's just more so like, I don't burn any bridges. That's
for sure.
When I was you,
trust me.
I would have crashed out.
Trust me.
As you get a little bit older, you have to learn how to just move like adults.
Yeah.
You just have to like. You know?
I learned, life is not easy, yo. I feel like, like in your situation, like in that scenario, it'd be like, like if everybody was able to communicate like exactly how they're feeling, what they were doing, that would be too easy, yo. You gotta throw a curveball in there somehow, you know what I'm saying?
Have to throw a curveball, you know?
That's what it is,
man. So like, but when you have responsibilities, you have all these things on your plate, and that you want to, you know, like even like get to a point in life where you're creating something, because this what you're doing right now is creative, right? What I'm doing is creative. There's just different lanes of creativity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, you have to have a plan to play. You can't if you're just going about it blindly, things will never be successful, right? We all know this, right? So what are some like tips and tricks that you can give people that are going to be watching this and go like, yo, that's kind of cool, you know? Like maybe I want to go become a personal trainer and start up a gym, you know, just any random business, you know? Like, what are some tips and tricks that you can give some to, like, you know, help them push themselves forward? Because there's always that contemplation stage, and a lot of people stay in that stage.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So what would you give them?
Above all, I would say, like, you gotta love what you're doing, because there's gonna be like ebbs and flows of like times when you're like, yo, f this, I don't want to do this no more. Like, there's gonna be times when you're locked in, you know what I mean? But like, as long as you have a foundation of like, yo, like you genuinely love or care about what you're gonna do, I think that baseline or that foundation is gonna, like, it'll ring through, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I was saying earlier, like, back in the days, all I used to do was hoop and like be on the computer, like watching music videos and like on the blogs and shit. Like, outside of like music and like fashion and like basketball, like I don't really care about nothing else. Like, obviously, like I'm not including like my family, like the personal shit, but like from this type sense, like I never really loved, like, that's why when I was talking about school, like I never really had anything that I particularly, like, it's not like, oh, I wanted to go into finance, or like, oh, I wanted to be like a doctor, or like I wanted to be an engineer. Like this was all that I used to care about from back then, you know what I mean? And like eventually, like that is what gave me the courage to even like dive in like all the way. Because I'm like, I know I don't care about nothing else. And I think that's what's gonna get me through when a lot of these, like, because there's so many other fashion brands, there's so many other people doing this shit, you know what I mean? A lot of people don't care. Like, and I think it sort of like reflects eventually, maybe not at first, but eventually it'll either reflect in either like the personality or the product. And then people are gonna tell. Either this guy doesn't know what he's doing, or this guy's an asshole, or this sucks. You know what I mean? It's one of the three. So like, to apply it to like anything other than clothes, like you was talking about a gym, like if that's genuinely what you care about, like impacting like not only yourself, but like you want to make an impact in other people's lives, like that belief is gonna have to carry you. You know what I mean? Into whatever endeavor that you step into, whether it's opening a gym, being a personal trainer, whatever it is. You know what I mean? Because essentially it's the same belief. You know what I mean? With different outputs. But like it starts with the belief. You know what I mean? And after you have that belief, then you can go into different things. What kind of clothes do I want to make? Who do I want to who do I want my main demographic to be, like that? You know what I mean? You dive into all that afterwards, but like everything starts with an idea. You know what I mean?
What do you feel like it was that thing during the pandemic that just made you be 100% into it?
Probably just like the amount of time that I had to myself. You know what I mean? It wasn't outside like that. The amount of time that I had to myself and all that like self-reflecting that like was pretty much forced to do is essentially what like made me open my eyes up and shit. You know what I mean? Like, what am I doing? Because I was working a job at the time, and like it was a pretty decent job. But like, yeah, I was like, yo, what am I doing? Like I need to start shit that I care about because I'm getting older. Like, you know what I mean? If I don't do this now, one thing that really motivated me too was like seeing the world shut down and like rest in peace. Like a lot of people like lost their lives at the time. It's like it made me realize how like short life is. You know what I mean? And I was like, the last thing that I want to do is like get to a point in life when I sit there and like regret time that I wasted. You know what I mean? Or like, yo, I should have did this, or I should have jumped off the diving board and started my. You know what I mean? And that I guess sort of gave me that little courage to get it rolling. You know what I mean? Yeah.
More times, like a lot of the older people that I talk to in life, their biggest fear is like not biggest fear. Their biggest regret is not following their passion.
You see what I'm saying?
Doing everything. Obviously, like we're adults. We have to like figure out how to make money, and you know we need it. We need to survive.
For sure, we got responsibilities.
We got responsibilities. You know, so. But if you have the means, or if you have like I'm gonna say if. More times, unless you have kids and like, unless you have like insane responsibilities as such, bro, like you could take an hour or two out of your day just to like take those steps.
Yeah, try and make something shake.
Try and make something shake.
Yeah,
so, and their biggest regrets is like not following that passion.
Yeah.
You know, I used to think, like I said, I used to be a personal trainer at a gym. I worked at a gym for like 2-3 years. The amount of people that are rich and older that just say, oh, I wish I just did this, I wish I just did that. But like, yo, it's never really too late to be doing something, but it's just like, yo, I wish I took my singing career a little bit more serious. I wish I played this instrument.
Yeah, you hear it all the time.
You know, all the time. That's their regrets. I wish I spent more time with my family.
Yeah, that one is crazy.
That one hurts. Because a lot of people don't get to. A lot of people, they work so hard in life. For what reason? You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, who are we really doing this for?
Thanks.
You know, we're doing this for our family, the people that are going to come after us, and obviously the people that are going to be consuming our content. Content could be the clothing, content could be the videos, whatever, like I said, right?
Yeah.
It could be any type of our creativity. So, it's cool and it's dope that you're doing what you're doing, you know?
Appreciate
and anybody that's trying to put out good content, you know, that's trying to motivate and trying to, you know, inspire someone in a certain way to go do something, bro, like by all means it's super dope, and like, you know, it deserves some type of level of praise, you know what I'm saying? Because we all get caught up into like following BS system.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
for sure.
And this is not me to like knock these brands. I'm not gonna say any names, but like there's like a lot of designer brands like you see, bro. Like the last year they've been getting exposed and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like they be paying $17 to get something.
Yeah.
Put a name on it, and then now that $17 worth $37,000.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so like that in my opinion, that's not respectable. It's smart, but in my opinion, it's not respectable. You know what I'm saying? They're doing it because they're trying to meet a bottom line. They're not doing it to push a certain like message, push a certain thing. And it's luxury, cool, sure, it's luxury, but in actuality, is it? So, you know, your brand and everything around that, you know, as long as you're inspiring and motivating people and like there's always like some type of level of praise that I feel like you have to give to for people that are starting something, some new initiative.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? So with the brand Scumbag, where do you see it going in the next 2 to 5 years?
We're trying to be worldwide with it, man. Yeah, I'm trying to be worldwide with it. Like, sometimes I'm not gonna lie to you. Sometimes I'd be torn on like the ceiling on where I want it to be. You know what I mean? Because it's like you'll see brands that like you'll see brands that was cool back in the days, right? Like for example, like eventually, like you see them in like department stores or like they get played out. You know what I mean? They get like corny and shit like that. So it's like I be having that like inner like dialogue in my head where it's like, yo, is my goal to make this like as big as possible? And like I'm not sure if I have an answer for that yet. You know what I mean? But yeah, I do want to expand for real. You know what I mean? Worldwide. Like I want to be in Europe a little bit more. I want to be in Asia a lot more because I know they're heavy in the streetwear over there too. So the immediate goal over the next few years to me is just expansion. Like expansion in terms of the reach and expansion in terms of the products. Because like the products I've been putting out is more like, like I said, t-shirts, hoodies, jerseys, you know what I mean? But I want to do more like intricate shit, you know what I mean? Like different textures and different materials and eventually, but like that shit just costs a lot, you know what I mean? So like the reward, like that's why I'm not going to do it now because like it just doesn't make sense, you know what I mean? But like once I expand the reach and like there's more eyes and there's more people locked in and like waiting for the next Scumbag drop, then it's like you can try giving them different things, you know what I mean? Different flavors, different, see what it works, you know what I mean?
How did you come up with the name Scumbag? And what does the name or the brand Scumbag represent?
Yeah, that's a funny question. Like I be answering this all the time because like mad people be curious. Like, yo, like why are you wearing something that wears Scumbag? Like even at the pop-up that I had a couple weeks ago, there's like an older like coolie woman pulled up. I think she was at the cafe. She seen we had a setup, so she was just curious. So she pulled up whatever. She's looking at the products and she read it. She's like, Scumbag. And you seen her reaction was like, yo, why would you even name something like this? She's like, tell me, like, what does it mean? And I told her, I was like, yo, no matter how you live your life, you know what I mean? No matter how like fruitful you think you're living or whatever the case may be, there's always going to be somebody who don't with you for whatever reason. More time, just like a personal reason that has to do with themselves. But like you could try and be a freaking preacher. Somebody's going to sit there and say, yo, he's not like that. You know what I mean? Like no matter what it is. But at the end of the day, if you know you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, like you know you're moving with good intent, and like you're really content with what you're supposed to be doing on this earth. Like if I'm a scumbag, so I guess I'm a scumbag. You know what I mean? That's why I came with the slogan: "We're all scumbags to somebody." You know what I mean?
We're all scumbags to somebody. That's fact.
Yeah. No matter who you are, we're all scumbags to somebody.
Even with like the name Scumbag, bro, like. People won't even understand that even after you explain it. They're just gonna look at it in like such a I don't want to say not secular, but like in one way.
It's mostly like perceived as like negative type shit.
Negative connotation behind it. But like when people actually understand the meaning behind Scumbag, like as to why that's the brand, then it's like there's like a cool meaning behind it.
Yeah.
It's a cool meaning. So
everybody can relate to it in some way, shape, or form.
Why do you like, yo, like you hate me for me being me? That's crazy.
You get what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't do anything to you. Like, why? Like, but it is what it is. It's life. Like,
we're all scumbags to somebody, brother.
Yeah, we're all scumbags to somebody, man. What do you have any like closing like statements that you want to give to the people? Like
the Scumbag World 2025. We're gonna close the year out strong. Got probably a couple more drops before the end of the year. Yaph Marciano, new music coming soon. Hopefully project coming fourth quarter, hopefully. Yeah, you know what I mean? Just working, man.
You know, like the brand of the podcast is called Halfway There.
Yeah.
So the reason why it's called Halfway There, and majority of things in life, we may think that we have found something that we could possibly like see a future in, but then there's things that come that challenge us and that takes us out of our position. And then we try different things. Right?
Yeah.
But then at the end of the day, there's always we always have some type of purpose in life, and life is about trying to find that purpose.
For sure.
You know, for me, I've done multiple different things. I worked in factories, I've worked in gyms, I've worked for an NGO. You know, different types of jobs. You know, always in the back of my mind, I thought like I knew that I had to do something else that was for me as opposed to someone else, right? So I started a podcast. I started speaking to different business owners because my business outside of this is I'm a personal trainer. God willing, I'm gonna open up a gym, all those different things in the future, right? But I started this brand because no matter what stage that you are in life, and no matter what type of level of contemplation, if you're thinking about doing something that's beneficial for your life, you're halfway there.
Already,
right?
yeah.
You're already halfway there. Now the next steps that you have to do is just put those 2 feet and just keep walking the walk, right? And making sure that you're always checking off something. You know, there's a laundry list of things that you have to do before you get there.
For sure.
Right? And as long as you're constantly checking that list, you're halfway there, right? And some people are a little bit closer to that goal, but
thanks.
you know, you don't really know when you're gonna get to that goal
until you get there.
You know,
thanks.
Right? And even when you get there, you still have places that you need to go.
For sure.
You know, so like you're halfway there. So that's the meaning behind as to why like I created the brand halfway there, right? So, and even you, man, like you created the brand. You're doing what you're doing, bro. But like the sky's the limit as long as you're constantly checking those boxes, right? And you know, we got a little bit of who you are and what you're doing with your brand. And for the people that will resonate with this, they'll understand that you talking the talk and you representing what you represent, that will help inspire them and motivate them to go chase whatever that they want to chase, right? That's the reason why my target market, or the target of people that I want to inspire with the podcast, are people that have that business mindset. And this is the reason why I talk to business owners, right? And that's the reason why, you know, I mess with what you're doing. I
appreciate that, bro.
Right? So I appreciate you for hopping on.
No, thank you for having me, man.
Of course, man. You know, like, and your publisher too. That's just like another like cherry on top. You know? So shout out to all my publishers. Shout out to everybody that's doing their thing.
They're not true.
You know, so I appreciate you for hopping on, brother.
No, thank you, bro.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you.
100%. Make sure you guys go follow Scumbag. Make sure you guys go cop the next drop, and make sure you guys go hit that subscribe and that thumbs up, because everything helps the algorithm. So I hope you guys have a good day.
Yes, sir.
Peace.